Now that you have downloaded the exercises, let's take a look at the website you will work with during this course. To do so, go to the place where you have stored the exercises that you have downloaded. In my case, it's in my documents folder. And inside of the exercises, you will take the original subfolder. This is the subfolder that contains the original version of the site. Now in that folder, you will double click on index.html and that will open that homepage, the homepage of your website, in the default browser installed on your system, which in my case is Google Chrome. Now the HD Street Band is a fictional concert band which is based in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you have created that website using plain HTML and CSS. You have used an HTML editor such as Adobe Dreamweaver, or Brackets, which is the lightweight code editor from Adobe, or any other HTML editor. And there are lots of HTML editors out there, so you have a lot of choices. You can be proud of yourself. The site is up and running, it's overall good looking, and people are very happy with the work that you have done. But you will see that there are some missing features on that website. This is the homepage of your site. You see that the main area of the homepage is the latest news from the band. On the side, you have a sidebar with different parts. Here at the top, you have the next events part. You have the latest news here also. Now let's take a look at the news section of the site. So I click here on the news link. The main content of this page shows a table with the latest news. Now here the sidebar enables navigation in the news archive from previous years, and this structure is very close to what you can find on many blogs today. Now if you click on one of those read more links, this takes you to the individual page of that news, and at the end of the news page you have a back to news link that takes you back to the main news page. Now, if you take a look at the address bar, you see that in this case, I'm on an HTML page called news.html. If I click on one of those read more links, I'm going to another HTML page. Now, let's take a look in the Finder or in Windows Explorer if you're using Windows. If you take a look in your file system, you will see a news folder here. And here you see that each news is a separate HTML file whose name is the news date, starting with the year, then the month, then the day. Of course, the name of the file is up to you, but it is always good in such circumstances to have a naming convention. In this case, the date is a very practical way to keep track of all the news, and the fact that the dates are written in year, month, day format ensures that it is correctly sorted in the Finder if you're using Mac, or in the Windows Explorer if you are on Windows. So if you want to publish a new news, this requires first to create a new HTML file for the new news in the news folder. Then you have to, of course, develop that HTML file. Probably you will copy an existing file and change the text of the news, of course. You must also, on the news page, update that table to add a row at the top of the table for the new news. You may have also to update the news archive section here to add a new year. And on the home page of the website, you have to move that latest news to the side here. And you have, of course, to update that section of the sidebar and to change the main content of the homepage so that it it displays the new news that you are typing. Now let's go to the agenda section of the website. So if I go here to the agenda section, what was true for the news section is also true for the agenda. You have all the upcoming events which are listed here in the table. If you click on the read more link, you go to a specific page for that event and you have a link that takes you back to the agenda. Now, once again, if you go to the events folder here on your file system, you will find that each event is a separate HTML file. So creating a new event requires you to create a new HTML file and to update that table, to also update that homepage to eventually change the next events. Now also, if I go back to the agenda, here the next event will take place on July the 19th. So on the night of July the 19th or on July the 20th in the morning, you should go back to your website, you should remove that first row of the table because it will not be an upcoming event anymore. The first line of the table will become here what is now the second line. You have also to update the sidebar of the agenda section because the next event here will be something else, of course. It's going to be the second line of the table. And of course, each time an event occurs, you have to go back to the home page and update also manually that next events section here on the home page. Now let's go to the Come Play With Us page. Now on this page you have a text here on the side which basically is a static text. So this could stay pretty much as it is. That text will not change much. But on that page you have here a form. Now I will fill that form with my name, my last name, my email address. I will choose the instrument that I play. I'll play saxophone and I will make a nice comment. There we go. And now I will click on the button here to submit the form. Now here when I submit the form, you see that my mailing application will open. Here it's Apple Mail because I'm on a Mac, but if you are using Windows, it could be, for example, Microsoft Outlook that will open. And in my case, before I can send that data to the website owner, I have to set up an email account because this is a brand new computer, so the email account is not yet set up in Apple Mail. Now, if I right-click here with Google Chrome inside of my form, and I click here on Inspect, you will see the HTML code of that form. And here you have that form tag. And you see that the action of the form is set to mail to followed by an email address. Now, this can lead to some problems. Because your email address clearly appears in the code, spammers can easily scan your code and get your email address. So such mechanism of submitting a form is the open door to spam in your mailbox. Some users will have a hard time submitting the form. For example, the users that are using a web-based email service, such as Hotmail or Gmail, and not an email client, such as Apple Mail or Microsoft Outlook, they will have a very hard time submitting the form because obviously when they will click on the button, an email client will open, but that email client will not be set up and they will have to kind of transfer that email to their web-based service, and most users, of course, won't do that, and you will lose information from your users. Your website will not be very efficient if you're using that mechanism. All right, so those are the pages that I wanted to show you. So the home page, the agenda page, the news page, and the Come Play With Us page. Now feel free, of course, to browse the other pages of the website before you go to the next video. That way you will have a better idea of the site you will work with during the rest of the course.